What's up, y'all? In this video, I'll be showing you how you can create your own Chrome extension like I have created over here, which allows us to create lead magnets, find emails, create subsequences, have bookmarks, all sorts of things. I'll be showing you how we create the designs, how we add automation components. So this is the back end of this extension over here. And I'll be showing you how you can actually build one. And so in this video, we will be building an extension from scratch, and I'll be showing you every single piece. So follow along. So what we're using ChatGPT to create the backend functionality, and we're using a tool called befree.io to come up with the designs. And so once we've come up with the design, so as you can see, this is actually pretty much the same thing that I had created from BeFree with some changes, right? Like for example, we have this drop down over here that was not created in this wireframe. We created another drop down over here, and we've also created some interactivity components. So when you see that the lead magnet is here, when I click see more up here, you'll notice that the lead magnet closes. I'll do it again. You see how they're both working together. So that's an example of something, right? Another example of a functionality, when I click refresh data, this, you can't click on this, right? It changes color, and it's currently working on refreshing the data. And then in a second, it's going to give me the refreshed data. And so all of these things that are happening, they're coming from ChatGPT. And so this initial phase where we're crafting the wireframe, this is the very first step, just getting a good idea of what we want. And then ChatGPT is going to make that even better for us. Another reason why I really love these extensions is because from an agency, it allows you to very easily navigate all of your tech stack. And so if I want to do some ClickUp tasks, I could do that here. If I want to do some Hubspot tasks, I could do that here. And when I finish these tasks from these different locations, I can very easily keep track of how all of them are progressing. And so that's obviously like insanely impactful, because there's no other type of dashboard that's going to allow you to get this type of movement, speed across your entire organization with the analytics like this, right? Let me also show you some other stuff, how this interactivity component is working, and then we'll get into like the actual building. So we will run this module only. We will find an email. So let's say that I want to find the email for Noel Maniraguha at afonto.com. Afonto.com. When I click find email, it's going to bring this information here. So you'll notice that we have the action, we have the full name, we have the website. This is what's coming from here. And this action is what we're using to filter out which section it's going to go into. So the action for find email is here. The action for create a subsequence is over here. The action for create a lead magnet is over here. And then from here, these are essentially forms. And so rather than having like 5, 10 different forms that you're having across a whole bunch of different places, you could just have forms like this. And so if I wanted to onboard a client, for example, I can easily add a form in this extension. If I wanted to pretty much anything, right? Like, let me show you how we find an email. So we do Bill Gates, right? So let's say Bill Gates, and let's imagine that Bill Gates works at afonto.com, right? This is going to find some random email that's not actually a Afonto, and it gives us these icons to indicate that this is a risky email. By the way, this email was found from Lead Magic. So Lead Magic took the information over here, and then it gave us Bill Gates' email. But this is obviously because it's a catch-all. And so that's why it outputted this information. If we couldn't find the email, so for example, let's say we put some random name here, and let's say we want to go to apollo.io. So apollo.io, and then we run it again. We find email. Yeah, this is not going to find anything. But the point is, when we're inside the master inbox, we don't have the time to actually log into Lead Magic and then log into Hunter and then log into Prospio and then validate these things using zero. Like, that's so much work, so much effort. And so the main benefit is like being able to navigate. Boom, boom, boom. I'm doing my HubSpot task. Boom. I'm doing some ClickUp tasks. Boom. I'm now in my master inbox. I need to find someone's email. And then I just find another email. Boom, boom, boom. Put that there. Get the email. I need to create a lead magnet. Just put the website here. Get a lead magnet created. I need to go to some bookmarks because I'm on a sales call now. I go to my getting started page over here. I'm showing them what we're doing. I need to figure out my tasks. I've got them here. I totally forgot about my tasks. They're over here. And so, like 59 inactive warmups, this is something that you typically don't have visibility to, right? Like if you're working with Smartlead, for example, they don't have anything like that. So you have to constantly check every single day. And so, for anyone that's wondering, how am I able to work as a one person agency and have a bunch of clients? This is how, because I know every single thing that's happening inside my agency. I don't need to log into HubSpot because logging into HubSpot doesn't serve me. I just go here and I know what I need to do in HubSpot, and it's these 4 tasks. Okay, so let's get started with crafting an automation. So, what you would do, you would create a wireframe, export it. When you export it, go ahead and export it um, as an HTML. It's going to be loading in a second. And then you want to essentially get that HTML and put it in this HTML online converter. Let's just try something simple, right? So create a simple Chrome extension HTML with one button. So we get this HTML. So ChatGPT is going to create the HTML for us. And by the way, at the end of this, we're going to have like a fully done extension. So you can literally follow along to build your first Chrome extension. So we've got the manifest, we've got the pop-up, we've got the JS. Like amazing stuff, right? So let's go ahead and actually just go ahead and copy all of this stuff here. We click on this Chrome extension for video, new. We want to create a text document, and this is going to be the manifest, right? So manifest, let's click on this. Let's go ahead and update this manifest over here. Let's save as, and then when we save it, we want to save it as manifest.json. So manifest.json. And this, by the way, is because this is what the text needs to be, manifest.json. And then let's do it again. Popup.html is what we want. By the way, you can create side panels. So this is what a side panel is. And you can also create a pop-up. We'll create a pop-up for now, just to keep it simple. We go back to this text document, boom. And then let's go ahead and save it. File, save as, popup.html. So this is how you would do it, right? You create all of these different components and then popup.js, right? So let's do it again. We go back to this one over here. Let's select all, remove this, and then now we save it as a popup.js. Amazing. So now we've got an extension. It's basically done. Now all you need to do is you basically need to go to this section over here, so Chrome extensions, and then you take this, what you've just built from ChatGPT, the way that I built it, and then you just paste it in here. And then it says a simple button extension. So let's go ahead and save this over here. So simple button extension, and there we go. We've got one button. And when you click this button, it gives you this over here, right? So now let's add some additional complexity to this specific thing. We want to call a webhook, and let's add a webhook, and let's call this delete. So delete. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's call this specific address, and then let's go ahead and save it. And then inside the same ChatGPT chat, we want to say when that button is clicked, call this webhook and have a message that says hello world. Hello world. Boom. So now it's going to essentially make updates to probably the pop-up JS, right? And then what's going to happen is that when we click on this button, it's actually going to come into this specific webhook. And so that's how we're getting all of this functionality. And this specific section, add a message that says hello world, that's how inside my extension, I was being able to say like, this is the action, this is the full name, this is the website, right? And then having it to redirect to the other sections of my workflows, right? And so boom, manifest.json. We actually need to add some permissions. So we go back to all of these. We need to make changes to every single one of these. So manifest.json, let's go ahead and select all. Let's paste it. Boom. That's good. And then we go here. We need to make some changes to the pop-up HTML. Pop-up HTML, edit in Notepad. And boom, let's save that. And then pop-up.js. Yep. And then let's save that. So you'll notice that the pop-up JS, this is what it looked like before, and then this is what it looks like now. A lot of things have changed, and so that's how a lot of what your extension is going to be. Like a lot of these specific ones are going to be the ones that are changing the most. And so, boom, let's go ahead and take this information back. And so this is the process, right? So as you're creating your extension, you go to ChatGPT, you make a change, and then you come back, and then you see what changed. So you go here, send hello world. So it also made some changes to the HTML, which is fine. I actually prefer this, but that's why we also want to give it to come up with our own HTML to provide ChatGPT. So and also be specific to not change that. But anyways, let's go back here. And actually, let's go here. Let's run this once, run this module only, and then let's say send hello world. And so now you see it says value hello world. And so inside make, we've just created an automation. And so now we can actually just create a router. And so when the value is equal to hello world, we basically do something. So let's say we want to send an email, right? Send an email. So boom, like if all I wanted to create is an extension that sends an email, that's how easy it would be to create that type of extension. And so then once we've got a good understanding of how all of this stuff is working, so these are the core components of an extension. And now we also know that we have the design that we want. Now it's just about making iterations and making adjustments, making improvements to make sure that it works the exact way that we want. And so when you upload it and then you realize like, oh, this see more section is here, but now I have 3 more sections that are also open, and now the extension is like way too long for what I need. You can go back into ChatGPT and you can say, hey, when any of the drop downs are clicked, I want the other drop downs to stop getting clicked, right? So that's an example of what you would do. Some other stuff that you can consider is adding some additional components, such as logging in. So if you want to be able to log in, give this extension to your teammates, this is something that you could very easily do. So if you're using like a Google Workspace, for example, you would just ask ChatGPT to be like, how do I create a login functionality to this application? And then it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you the exact steps. And all you really need to do from your end is just follow along. But this has been one of the highest leverage things that I've built in my agency. And so I think it's worth building. And so you see, we've got some storage stuff, we've got some pop-up HTML, some stuff over here, and then you also want to read what it says, because sometimes there's additional steps, right? There's probably going to be some additional steps, but that's it for me. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Cheers.